Hello everyone and welcome to Southron Bannermen, episode 22. I am your host this evening, Ben, and I'm joined by regular host Joe.
Hello.
I don't know why, I always do like a hand gesture when I say that. Like people can see.
Do you do it to the side and look and just realise no one's with you?
Yeah. Basically. And we're also joined by internet famous Dan Kay.
Hey everyone, I'm internet famous Dan Kay.
And we're also joined by Matt Ellington, who's now coming from Edinburgh, not from Washington State.
Oh my goodness, it is Matt Edelman from
That's
Edinburgh,
close.
and
Edinburgh.
I used to be from Portland, Oregon. Come on, Ben.
That's
Damn
close.
it, Davey.
That's close.
Yeah, Ben. Get your fucking facts right, Ben. Shit.
Close. Oregon's basically the Washington State, isn't it?
No, in that they're totally different.
It's basically the same thing.
I'm pretty sure this exact conversation happened the last time you were.
Probably.
I'm just ashamed of the fact that you can't say Edinburgh correctly.
I'm making you feel at home, Matt. It's Edinburgh to, our friends from across the pond. Just a quick to point out. Sorry, this has been the first actual proper podcast in a while. We kind of tried doing live streaming stuff, which we're probably going to get back to at some point. But two of the episodes were going to be podcasts, but my recording setup just completely failed, and it's a lot of effort to redo a podcast you've already done. That's out on the internet in YouTube form.
I hear that.
Yeah, God, yes. I don't know how. I think it was in the White Book once. Will redid every single one of his parts because his bit didn't record. So we went back and listened to the podcast and did everything he was going to say and edited that in. I'm like, man, I'll just read on the podcast. That's
insane. He had to write himself a script.
Yeah, it's crazy. And if you hadn't said, I wouldn't have known.
You're just running on zero joy, aren't you? It's just utterly good.
You can just say now, it's like, oh my god, that car's really exciting. To Will, yes, it's all right, isn't it? Anyway, Joe, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about the meta that is coming up as we have UK Nationals in a week, and no one knows what the hell they're doing.
I have no idea what's going on. So,
and apparently there's been some spoilers as well.
Well, preview stuff. We got. I'm looking forward to. I know I had a rant the other day about not looking forward to.
Yeah, Ben, you're not allowed to look forward.
I'm not allowed to look forward to. We're getting 3 agendas in the next 4 packs. That's massive for the game.
I've heard there's another one in the next cycle as well.
Another.
Holy moly!
Going by the preview article, I want to say it's Dark Wings, Dark Words because that's how they end the article. The first article for the new cycle.
If you're calling a cycle Flight of the Crows, it's got to be that, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Where else are they going to shoehorn it in that agenda?
But we're getting the Maces agenda, pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting the Brothers Without Banners agenda, which I'm not convinced is going to be amazing, but it at least looks interesting. And then we're getting the House of Dagmar's Dreams.
You mean House with the Red Door?
House of Dagmar's Dreams, yes.
With a red door.
Yeah, with a red door that Dagmar's just going to jizz all over.
Gross. Keep it in your pants, Dagmar.
All over a red door? Oh, that'll show up and it'll stain all that nice lacquer that they put on there. Oh, come on, Dagmar.
But it's pretty cool.
Somebody think of the lacquer.
That's why I'm here, to think of the important stuff.
It's a refreshing change, Matt. I'll be honest with you.
We're also focused on what's going on with the locations, and no one thought about the door.
The door of dreams. I for one, am looking forward to the myriad flea-bottom decks that agenda spawns.
Yes.
As opposed to the myriad of flea-bottom decks that are
already spawning as we speak.
Oh yeah, I'm up to my ass in flea-bottom decks right here. You can't see it, but they're fucking everywhere.
We did love the clarification though from I think it was last weekend from Warhammer that it's decided if you C-bitch your flea bottom, you are pinching someone's bottom. That is now the technical term for it.
A pinch?
Nice.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's English slang for stealing, Matt. Sorry.
Oh yes, that's right. I've watched some Guy Ritchie films. I understand that one.
It's a good entry point there, bro. I'm glad you've done your homework.
It's some pretty cool cards coming. Just quickly, there was that Greyjoy, the new Greyjoy character, the 4-cost guy. My initial reaction to how I actually thought about him by the end, when I kind of went, "Oh my god, another power monocon? Are you fucking kidding me?" And then I actually read his text and went, "Oh, actually no, he's pretty good. Okay, that's fine."
Do you mean Tris Botley?
Yeah, Mr.
He's 3 cost, I believe.
3 cost. Oh, 3 or 4, whatever.
4
but
cost.
But
he also looks uncannily like me, which I don't like.
he does a little bit, Dan.
Hmm.
I never knew you were a Greyjoy.
I'm not. At the best of times.
And obviously, and the big one, that Tyrell agenda, though. Agenda, sorry, plot. That the French spoiled.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That is bonkers.
You'll have to remind me about that one. I can't remember it.
The 4-4-1, summer traded. While a Tyrell character's in a challenge, it gets +2 strength.
Oh, yeah. That exciting plot.
But it's not exciting, but that is bonkers.
Pretty good.
Randall
If
immediately
Tyrell were
stands.
lacking, it was ways to boost their character's strength.
I found that. I really do find that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's summer. And it's got decent reserve and initiative.
That's
sounds
good. 'Cause
excellent.
I've heard they've just got this card, and what is really cool, check it out. What happens is when you kneel it, it gives you 2 gold if there's a summer plot revealed and there's no winter. It's pretty sick.
Mm-hmm.
Funnily enough, me and Matt might have been streaming of that card yesterday.
That's right. It did not go well, but we were streaming.
The first couple of games, yeah. We did have the spicy player putting a crown of gold on Theon so we could actually oppose his challenges.
Oh,
Crown of gold and
yes.
roses.
On our opponent's Theon so we could oppose his challenges.
God's sake.
That card, it was crossing as well. But he put him down. We played Song of Summer, then he played Theon, and was like, "Oh, we can't defend
Oh,
this."
wait.
Crap.
Oh, no. We totally screwed up. I'd like to say we bumbled our way to 3-2 with our deck.
We did. It did help. We played that guy who literally did not know how to play the game. We had to go.
Don't mention that. Don't mention that part.
We literally.
Those are some of the sweetest wins. It's like kicking a puppy, isn't it?
He set up Aya and then put ice on Aya, and I went, she doesn't have a military icon. Does she not? Whenever I play her, normally she has a military icon. I was like, oh.
Oh dear.
Keep in mind, we were 0-2 at that point. We were about to throw the deck out the window, so it was a nice little booster.
You were happy to take scraps from the table at that point.
Down at the bottom tables.
Yeah.
I've just bought my core set.
Yeah. Just bought my core set. Yes, not going to lose. But yeah, anything you guys looking forward to from the preview so far?
I really want Pack 6 to come out for the fucking bestow plot. That's what I want. More than anything.
What's the bestow plot?
It's a plot that gives you super bestow. It's awesome.
Super bestow. So Astapor gets even better.
Every bestow card gets better.
Okay.
Astapor is amongst them. I'm not really bothered about Astapor anymore. I feel like Astapor's had its time in the sun. People have figured that one out now.
It's still the most bullshit card in the game.
It
It is annoying. I'll grant you that. It is annoying. But we live in a meta of endless Greyjoy and political disaster now.
Yeah,
so
but that's
Exactly.
why I hate it. Like, I've despised the card ever since it came out because it's either broken or it's nothing. Because if your opponent has location hate, it's a 1-cost location, like, so anything can deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
If your opponent has no answers to it, then it's the most oppressive card in the game and slows everything down.
I
feel that like now we're in a meta where flea bottom exists. That if a deck isn't running some form of location hate, whether it's like direct location hate or indirect location hate, then it's probably doing something wrong.
And on that note, we desperately need another neutral location control card besides political disaster.
That's the torch, my friend.
We desperately need another neutral location card besides political disaster and put to the torch.
What about Lay Sizzle?
Yeah, Lay Siege.
Sizzle. Yeah.
That was a card that got overhyped to hell.
Yes.
That's going to be everywhere. Like, I think I played it once and then that was it.
I've had it played against me once and that's it.
Okay.
Mate, I fucking murked the shit out of some guy's iron mines with that card. Knelt it way out.
Yeah, I think Lay Siege seems to... it was trying to occupy the same slot that Nightmares currently occupies.
Yeah.
Nightmares
is just a better all-round card, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, the deck that I think is going to do pretty well at Nationals, which is probably no surprise, which is Tyrell Castamere. You know, if you built your event package in that deck properly, you're running 3 Nightmares, and you've probably got 2 Lay Siege in there as well, just for fun and political disaster.
Yeah.
So
you just need 2 Bargain Gates and you're fine.
Yeah, Bargain Gates. I actually don't think that's that good of a meta call. I think people think it's a better meta call than it actually is. You know.
Like, we discussed this briefly yesterday, and the general point I was trying to make with that is that, like, Flea Bottom's obviously a good card, but stopping it for 1 turn doesn't matter. The effect of Flea Bottom isn't the game-winning effect, it's the overall play of it.
That's fair, and you think Frozen Solid just stops it dead anyway. And obviously, that's probably a better counter. Because I was trying to think, obviously, Frozen Solid is now becoming a lot more of a medical. The only faction that probably can't use Flea Bottom very well, which has the easiest counter to Frozen Solid, is Barra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But what the hell is Barra using Flea Bottom for?
Martel Stag use it, but not Barra. Probably because Vanguard Lancers are insane with Flea Bottom.
Well, yeah, that a little bit. I get that, but you got to get them to the discard pile, which Barra have no easy way of doing.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems to have, like Targ, for instance, which seems to be, I think, the house that uses it easiest. So you just take Plaza of Pride, discard a card, it's in the bin.
Oh yes, right. Discard on demand.
Same with Stark. If you've got Jon Snow out, I'll sacrifice Summer. He's now there. I'll bring Summer back in. I'll bring my Brand back from the dead pile.
Nightwatch as well.
Nightwatch, yeah.
Yeah, I think the 2 best factions with Flea Bottom really are Nightwatch and probably, actually better than Nightwatch is Greyjoy. No doubt.
Great. You think Greyjoy?
Yeah, man. Greyjoy.
If you're building the right deck, then it's very strong in Greyjoy.
If you're clever with building Greyjoy at the minute, it's just nuts. Especially if you're doing the Second Son's Banner Dragon build.
Oh gosh.
That sounds disgusting.
Not fun. But as I said to David Daisy Guest, for every great deck, there's a great counter. And you just need to figure it out.
No, I've been playing a lot of Targ this week, and Second Sons and Flea Bottom has just been bonkers good.
Mm-hmm. It is fun. I made a Martel Dragon build with that little combo in, and I was enjoying it. It didn't even feel that broken compared to some, but it was fun.
I still think the 2 ones that make me kind of just think I want the card to go away is Southron Messenger or Ario Hotar and the Night's Watch one with the Veteran Builder.
So let's talk about Flea Bottom reactions that everyone thought was going to be really fucking great, and actually turned out to be not as great as they thought. And I would like to submit the first candidate for that as Ario Hotar.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I don't think it's Ario Hotar by himself. I think it's when you got Ario Hotar and you got the Southern Messengers. I think that's I think that's when it gets pretty OP.
The problem I'd say with that though is that the Southern Messengers are still in exactly the same boat as they were before, in that they're only doing something if you've got 1 icon. You had to play around it before, you can still play around it.
Yeah, it was doing some work at the weekend though.
Messengers are good. Hotar is good. I'm definitely not going to argue that. My main quibble is I think Martel have dropped in power level significantly after Pack 5, and that's very surprising because, I actually think they've probably gone to the bottom, and I'll tell you exactly why. Because their best build, their most consistent, powerful build, was the reset build, right? Mm-hmm. And the reset build has taken some fucking knocks this pack. Flea Bottom makes the resets less painful. Same with the Iron Bank will have its due. Makes it, you can snap that key character. You've got cards like Mutiny that have come about. Mutiny at Cressers, which hurt Varys.
Yeah.
People seem to have sussed onto the whole Giants thing as well now. I'm seeing a lot more, like, Hand's Judgment's disappeared a bit, and I've seen a lot more Nightmares. And I just think that all these little bits and bobs have hurt some of the most powerful Martel builds. I still think Martel Wolf is very good, but Martel suffers from the same problem it's always suffered with, and that is that it's very slow. So that's not, you'll still win with it, but whether you'll be taking that to a tournament and doing, 7, 8 games of that. I don't know. It's tough.
Begging Brothers has also hurt Martell quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Then Begging Brothers, I've started to see people like wise onto that and play it really well. It hurts Hotar a lot, which was one of the main things people were cacking their pants about was endless Hotar. They're basically, it feels like Martell's tricks have been defanged somewhat. They've had the real bite taken out of them, and they've sort of gone back to doing what Martell was sort of doing for Pack 4, which was dancing around a lot and doing all this cool shit, but not actually winning games.
So I think that is why, I think this happened in cycle 1-ish, is that it's just people realise Martell on its own no longer works when everyone else is catching up, so you need the banner. I think Martell Stag is the best Martell list at the moment.
I agree.
Just reset, then Chamber.
Yeah, it's the best. I don't even think you need to reset in that deck. I think that's a deck that actually makes people play into Martell's strengths. That's the Martell deck that can sit there not being proactive. It sit there and just says, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to passively accrue power, and you need to do something in order to stop me to win, stop me winning. And if you don't, then I'm going to win. And if you do things, then I'm going to start doing all my bullshit, which is all the stuff that we know and love about Martell. So
So the one I've been watching the most of is Janice playing it. So I know he took one to German nationals and he's had an updated one that he's been playing. And I occasionally watch his games, and it's just bonkers. Janice is obviously insanely good as well, but the list is just brutal.
Yeah, Martell Stag has been pretty insane since around January when it first started showing up, and it's gotten a few key tools, for example, secret schemes, to really put it into overdrive. Yeah, that's not even mentioning the fun with what's it? The guy lets you return your Vanguard Lancers back to your hand.
Yeah.
The Orphan the Greenblood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So between Orphan the Greenblood and Flea Bottom and Last of the Giants, they can jump things in and out whenever they need it, and they could recycle a lot of stuff too. Imagine they are putting out a Vanguard Lancer, then they're going to Varys, then they're going to use Flea Bottom to get the Vanguard Lancer back, then they're going to use Orphan of the Greenblood to put the Vanguard Lancer back into their hand. Oh my god.
I love those Orphans, man. They're great. They're so good.
And it's just slowing the opponent down enough to let them do what they need to do to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And don't forget that the Iron Bank will have its due is around now, so they even on 0 gold they can still bring a Vanguard Lancer back to their hand and have enough money to play Last of the Giants into Varys.
So then this is what Kev did to me at the weekend. Not quite that play, but I really saw where the Iron Bank has its due came in. So he put Varys down. I was playing Greyjoy Reigns, and he kind of went, okay, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? So I went and did the challenge. I did a challenge or something. Anyway, when I did the intrigue, having Nightmares Varys, then a bit risky, just because I was trying to flip into the Red Wedding. Just to kill Varys on the power challenge.
Kill Varys, yeah.
And it worked. 2 games later that day, it worked. But in that game, he then the Iron Bank played his due to pull Tyrion back to bounce in Hotar to stop me from winning the intrigue. And that swung the game completely. I probably should have held on to the Nightmares and tried Nightmaresing in the turn afterwards. Sorry, in the dominance. But I thought I kind of went for, if I can just kill him now, then he's dead. I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it seems that this event, the Iron Bank, will have its due. It opens up a lot of possibilities for every phase, well, except taxation, of course. And it sounds like that was the intention behind the intention the creator had when he came up with this deck, is being able to say, okay, at any time I could have the gold I need to do trick X and X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good card. It just kind of,
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Is it too good?
It's fun. I don't think it's too good. No, I think, yeah, I don't know. It's a sort of card that can backfire on you quite quickly if you fuck it up. It's a card that rewards really clever play.
Exactly.
And it's a card that also punishes you for stupid plays.
Yeah. I think
One of my favourites was I was like, oh, I'm going to get reset, so I took one character off the board with an orphan, and then the other off the board with Iron Bank will have his due, and then the guy didn't reset, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I was about to say one of the best ones I've seen is bouncing back. Was it the Red Viper to then Valor the next turn, and that was the long plan turn.
Ooh.
So all the money, he just gets the money, and then basically has the money to play him out again next turn after the Valor.
Yeah, I'm still yet to actually play a game where I've like the stars have aligned for the long plan, Tibwid, and the perfect Valor situation. You know, like I think that was one of these things that sound great, but like I've played a lot of games with the long plan, Tibwid, Martell, and it just doesn't seem to come together.
Like my favourite thing with Tibwid so far, which is to my simple play, is Littlefinger, Tibwid. I'll have 2 cards. I'll have Littlefinger back. I've now got 5 gold and 2 cards.
See, that's a great little play there. You know what I mean? It's like I don't really want to marshal Littlefinger. I just want the cards. Yeah. I'd marshal Nymeria or Tyrion or whatever. You know. Yeah, that's good.
I'll tell you my favorite, and that is using the Iron Bank will have its due to play newly made Lord, blow up a location such as Fleet Bottom, then being like, nah, I want to get somebody else instead. I'll bring him back.
That's some spice right there. That's some
pretty awesome
spice.
Just any end-to-play effects, then taking it back is immediately effective.
Yeah, and it seems like Martell has a lot of these.
Yeah. That's God, there's so many plays of Tidward. I've not really used Tidward yet. It's one of the few cards on the new pack I haven't really sat down and thought about.
So, like, Whammer very much pushes that issue. I think he thinks it should be in every deck. I don't think it fits in everyone, but when you slowly think about it, it's very good.
It definitely shouldn't be in every deck. That's such a ludicrous statement.
See, this goes...
Definitely be a deck that just wants to, just put characters on the board and defend things. It makes loads of sense. Yeah.
This is like I can't remember why, but I went back and listened to some like really old, first cycle podcasts from various people, and the amount of people said this card is going to be there's going to be one of in every deck until it cycles, which we don't really see anymore. Like Sirio. Everyone said, yeah, until the game card cycles, you're going to see Sirio in every deck. I hardly see him anymore.
Yeah. I apologise, Whammer, if you're listening, or when you listen, if this is misrepresenting you. But
he's not.
Like, having played it, I do think it can find a spot in most decks. It's just, it's the idea that sometimes you can go, well, this character is no longer very useful for me. I'll take this back, and I will use this gold to pay for something better. That's some of the best scenarios I find.
You got to think of the thing that's becoming rapidly more relevant in Game of Thrones deck building, and that's opportunity costs, So yes,
it's econ in its own way.
It can go in every deck, and you can do some cool things with it. But what are you not getting in your deck because that's in there?
That's the balance.
Well, it is very flexible. I mean, just the mere fact that it can shed terminal attachments from your characters. That's pretty nice. It can protect you from when you think a reset is coming. That's really nice. It can give you extra money. That's really nice. Just the mere fact that it's really flexible, I think, is its strength. And I think that's what Whammer was talking about.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going to have to quibble with that reset thing. I actually don't think it's good reset protection at all. Because I think a clever opponent, because you can't play it in taxation. If you could play it in taxation, it'd be amazing.
But you can play it in standing.
Yeah, but you don't save the gold. So you take a character off the board. True. Let's say you think you save your best guy.
True.
And then a clever opponent will go, you've sort of done my job for me. I won't reset. I'll just carry on building up. Because I was in your camp. I thought the same thing. I thought, oh, this is amazing. I can hop out my guys at the first sniff of danger. But then I got owned by clever people that were like, right, well, you've just slanted the ball position in my favour, and now I'll use that to my advantage.
Yeah, but the only thing that works with there is if it's turn 6 and you're Valoring next.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But obviously you're not putting a card in because you haven't quite won fast enough. So, because that's basically the only reason that situation comes up. You're having to Valor because you haven't quite got there quick enough. But
very true.
Yeah, no, it's and that's the thing I love with this pack is there's just so many good cards, and I think that's why no one knows where the meta really is, because there's so many meta-defining cards in one pack. It's I can't remember a pack like this.
No, it's a big deal. It feels like a box almost, this pack.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, bar Lannister, they got nothing.
I reckon it's going to be a bit different in a week or two. I think part of it might be down to the fact that we've had a new pack and then no tournaments up till Nationals, so it feels like this kind of weird, everyone's hidden away doing their thing, but once Nationals is done, I think it will kind of just go back to normal.
And I think that's the other thing. Compared to this time last year, I know people started getting a bit secret what they're taking to Nationals, but it was Lanny Dragon, pretty much, or something to counter Lanny Dragon.
That was the fallback deck.
Yeah, but all it was, everyone was working a deck to beat Lanny Dragon, and if you couldn't, you played Lanny Dragon. Whereas this year, because of this pack, and where the things have gone, I can't tell you what the most prominent deck's going to be at Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea which faction's probably going to be the most. I don't know if you guys got a better idea. Or what's going to be most represented? I've got no clue.
I think we'll see a lot of Greyjoy, and I think we'll see. I think the go-to powerful factions here in this pack are Tyrell and Greyjoy, and probably Nightwatch. I think the sort of left of the popular factions, that you'll see some Stark and you'll see some Baratheon. People being clever with them. Not so sure about Targaryen at the minute. They're still always a pain in the ass, but they just get fucking wrecked by Greyjoy.
I think there is a Targ deck that's out there. Targ Lion, I think, is the one of any of them at the moment.
You say that. I played a very good Targ Lion recently, and it was
Smash Bros.
Yeah, it's just Smash Bros again. It's very predictable, just with now with a bit more sort of stuff. I think Targ Rogue is still better than Targ Lion because you can get the triple military off with the flea-bottomed informants.
Yeah. The only thing I'd say is just don't underestimate how damn good the Hound is with flea bottom. If you guys guard him.
No, definitely not. No, I would never underestimate that.
Which is what I think makes Targ Lion potentially work.
Yeah, that deck has Second Sons and the Hound in the same deck.
Oh God.
You've still got to, make sure you've only got one flea bomb though. You can't keep putting them both in.
Why is it unique, damn it? No, I'm joking.
And then don't forget, Lannister Reigns is always there. It will always be tier 1. Well, maybe not always, but it's still tier 1. It's always there waiting to to take you out. And then of course you've got Martell Stag, and now we've covered all 8 factions in the meta.
Isn't it amazing though that how long ago was Euros? 3 months ago? 2 months ago?
3 months.
3 months. And every freaking every top table, every game in the cut had someone playing Targ. And now where are they?
There was a very specific reason for that at the time.
I know they had the best econ at the time, and they just got Astapor. But isn't it amazing?
They didn't have
3
Astapor.
packs. I thought they did have Astapor.
No, Euros.
They used to have the stand. They used to have the stand when it Plaza Pride. But isn't it amazing in 3 months that they've gone from being by far the most represented faction to being right at the back again?
Good.
It is largely just because everyone else caught up. Targ were doing so well because they had the money, which was they were getting money off killing people when no one else could keep up with that money or the ability to kill people.
Yeah,
this
just
is still
the mere ability to Valor and then gain 6 gold.
So good. It's why I do think all the econ locations should have been in 1 pack. Just to keep the balance.
Pack 2, right there with the Great Hall.
Yeah.
It's so dumb they didn't do that. So dumb. It's created this whole pack, this whole cycle 3 year has just been so wonky because of that. And I was really annoyed that they didn't have the foresight to think, hey, maybe we should put these huge advantage gaining cards all together.
And the other thing is, if going in the future, 6 months down the line, someone goes, "Oh, I want to get into the game." If you went, "Okay, buy the 3 cores, probably buy the deluxe you want, buy this pack because no matter what faction you're playing, there's your econ."
Yeah, that would have been really nice to have a must buy for new players.
Yeah, but no. Instead, they spread it across the whole cycle. And I know people are probably going to buy them all anyway if they're that bothered. But it would be nice when there's someone starting to go, "That's your econ pack."
Yeah.
It's how they do any cycle in FFG. It's just the design of it. There's every cycle. There's a theme.
And also,
last cycle was Kings.
Yeah. And I think they should have a whole pack of all the Kings in. No, maybe not. But no, it just annoys because then you, especially from the meta point of view, you then create this imbalance. Like we had with Targ, were just so on top because and even now Lannister and Stark were in pack 5, so they're still waiting. Now, rumour has it the Stark one's crap anyway. But, well, not crap, but...
It's the opposite of the Tyrell one.
Yeah, it's just not amazing. It's not... You can't control it, and summer plots are everywhere. So if it is off winter plots, well, that's not great for them, unfortunately.
Are summer plots everywhere? I mean, like, there's one or two in some decks.
I wouldn't underestimate the Stark one, because if Stark has a winter econ plot, they'll start playing winter plots. Then the Tyrell one loses its ability as well.
Maybe. And you start playing Old Nan.
Plus the Stark one, it turns on around mid game when you're playing your big push plots. When do people play their summer plots? At the early game.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think this whole like summer plots are everywhere things. There are very few decks that run like more than 2 summer plots, and the ones that do that are dedicated summer decks, and they're not really commonplace, are they?
You obviously
I'd say
our stream
3 summer plots is potentially normal, but you typically go in maybe plot 1 to plot 2.
That's generous. 3. I mean,
say time of plenty, close call, then maybe a second time of plenty or a late summer feast.
Summer harvest.
Maybe a late
summer harvest is been showing up a lot lately.
Yeah.
I actually like summer harvest now.
Yeah.
Myself.
No. Now that Reigns is so popular, summer harvest is less of a risk because can't we get Varys riddled?
It's so true. It's like every time I see a Reigns deck, I'm like, oh sweet, that's an easy 7 gold on my first turn.
And the other one, which we might see a lot of summer plots when the House of Dagmar's Dreams is out, because you can just set up a Bitterbridge encampment, as Matt pointed out.
Yes, the Bitterbridge deck.
That's what we're all waiting for, isn't it?
Bitterbridge on demand.
That was the one flaw. You can't build around Bitterbridge if you don't know you're going to get it. But now you're going to know.
Now you can. Now nothing can stop the bridge.
Is this double bar and negates metal?
Yes. Yeah.
Winter to turn it off, just in case.
Well, no, the winter doesn't turn off. You just have to have a summer plot.
But surely if you have that, you can
but you won't be able to jump anything in.
Not with barring, no. Yeah. My double bar and the Gate Stark deck will still see play.
God, I can't wait for that. It's going to be hilarious. I never even played it.
So this Knights and Tyrell, to next level people, they can open with Forgotten Plans. Just a blank.
That's so meta. Fantastic. Well, let's hope we see that. I would personally love to see a meta where people are opening with Forgotten Plans for the banter.
What the hell is this? But you open Forgotten Plans, you still can't jump anything in because there's no summer plot.
Oh, true. Yeah.
That
doesn't work.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I thought it was like during the draw phase or something. When Bitterbridge worked.
No, it's reaction to when it's revealed. So
okay.
So what you have to do is play a melee, convince someone to do a summer plot, and you open Forgotten Plans so everyone gets a character.
That's right. Okay, don't ignore me completely.
It's a big stretch there.
Complete. As long as half the field is in on the plan, it'll be fine.
So guys, I'm mainly angling this at Joe and Ben, but Matt, feel free to chime in. Let's just imagine you're in the UK meta now. What are you thinking about taking to UK nationals? What's got you fancy?
Oh, that's very easy. I am a Baratheon loyalist. I serve the Lord of Light, and according to the stats over the past couple of months, Baratheon has been the least popular faction, which means I'm totally taking it.
Their location is good. It is
in a certain build.
That's what I don't like.
The build that wins things, it's good.
But that's one thing I don't like. It just forces Barrow down this dominance package even more.
Yeah, you kind of have to do it, which is a little unfortunate. It's not exactly the Nightwatch one, which is just, oh my goodness, it's always giving me 2 gold.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
The Nightwatch one is getting better and better as time goes on.
Yeah.
But anyways, a little more detail. I am actually looking at taking Baratheon, partially because thanks to what happened over in North America with Gen Con, it seemed that so Martell Stag won that. Martell Stag got 3rd place, and Martell Fealty got 2nd place. So there was definitely a a push towards like heavy resets and locations. If that sort of meta of heavy resets and locations kind of moves on over to the UK, then in these sorts of metas, like it's my experience that Baratheon gets better.
Yeah,
can't tell you the details why, but it just does.
Well, Seen in Flames is a great card against reset decks.
Yeah,
it's like
Seen in Flames, but particularly the Red Keep. The Red Keep against Martell Stag is like the best card. Like that's how you win against Martell Stag, is you get out the Red Keep and you just outdraw them, and you just keep putting dudes on the board. Yeah, because you're drawing 4 cards a turn.
That's fair.
It works a treat. It works a sweet treat, and Crescent as well is just absolutely great versus any sort of like standards control deck which relies on attachments. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe we'll see a Baratheon resurgence.
It'd be nice.
I like it. I always say that in any big tournament, in any cut, there will be at least one Baratheon player. I just know it. It is that stable.
Yeah, there is going to be a good amount of Barra, I think. UK Nationals, there will at least be a few around the top tables. I know people who are actually playing it.
I about said there's a I know, not naming names, I know there's a group of people testing a Barra deck at the moment.
Baratheon won't win Nationals though.
Won't win it. No, I don't think it'll win it. I think it's a deck you probably have to consider if you're planning on winning Nationals, as in to face what plan you have for it. But I wouldn't worry about them winning Nationals. No offense to anyone taking Barra, please prove me wrong.
Damn it, Ben. You have no confidence in me.
Well, partly because...
Are you going to UK Nationals?
I am. I'm going to Liverpool.
In that case, I retract my statement earlier. Sorry, I thought you were... Well, of course, you're in Edinburgh. Why wouldn't you come?
Edinburgh. Make him feel at home, please.
Oh, my goodness.
You're an Edinburgher.
Edinburgher.
I'm going to go near Worcestershire.
That's just a stroll down the road in US terms from where you are, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the United States is a very big place. I mean, it's not exactly Russia big, but considering that Great Britain can, like 3 Great Britons can fit in Texas, it's very big.
It takes longer to cover the whole of California than it does to take the whole of British Isles.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy. I'm being pretty open and honest what I'm taking to Nationals because I've been testing them both on my streams. And currently I've given up on Greyjoy.
Really? Okay, fair enough.
I had a few bad experiences. Dagmar's not very Dagmar touched me in a very inappropriate place. I don't want to talk about it.
He does that. He likes to do that. So what are you taking?
Well, I'm pretty sure you can guess one of my options.
Targaryen. No, it's I think I know. It's the boys. It's the
boys in blue.
Police.
The Stark Fun Police, which I've tweaked a bit. One of the things I've done recently, I've dropped all the milks because they don't seem as worthwhile at the moment. And that gave me access to 2 Beggar Brothers and a 3rd Frozen Solid.
Yes, Beggar Brother that seems like a really good card. I mean, you think Treachery is good? Begging Brother is like Treachery, but you can preload like 2 or 3 of them. Yeah.
The other one, because Jewel hurt me a couple of times, so I dropped the Blackfish for King Rob's Host.
Ooh.
Nice. Lovely stuff.
Expensive.
Well, I normally have the money by mid-game, because my cost curve is really low.
Okay.
So getting stuff out is not really an issue.
Shit.
Mm-hmm. The other option is I've been playing Targ a lot, because I wanted to play a deck which abused Flea Bottom, and I didn't want to play Martell. Because I play Kev too much, and Kev just only plays Martell. So it's kind of put my play on them a little bit, unfortunately. No offense to Kev, he loves Martell. Him playing Martell was like Tamas playing Night's Watch.
Yeah.
You just expect it. It's I think Joe was the one who pointed me that one. I shouldn't take credit for Joe's joke. But yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it. I'm tweaking the deck. I don't know if we'll be ready for Nationals. That's the one thing that worries me. So I probably have to fall back to Stark. But it's something that's probably going to be in my box when I go up, and I make the decision on the 5-hour drive to Liverpool.
That's fair.
Probably how grumpy I am in the morning, whether I want to go out and smash faces or want to be quite pacifist.
What about you, Jay?
Not too sure. Have a group of us doing some testing, seeing what potentially good.
Am I in that group? Or have you just kicked me out? I feel like I should be in that group.
Apparently you just weren't invited. I think there must have been a reason.
Oh, well, that's charming, isn't it?
You probably just weren't online
I
at the time.
apologise. I figured you didn't want to be in it. I didn't send out the invites.
I want to be in every group. I love people. Yeah, me.
Because it's one of the things I'm finding at the moment is that I've asked a few people for deck lists just for ideas for streams. The first thing I get is, you can't put it on your videos yet, though. It's like, oh, for God's sake, I want to play other things. I want to play interesting things.
Yeah.
That's bringing out the way.
I took one idea to, which I don't think matters too much, but I'll have to double check whether this needs to get edited out if one person's playing it. Well, actually, it's already out there. It doesn't really matter. Like, I took a Lanny Crossing to Warball, which was a test one we were doing. And that was jumpers. Pretty crazy.
George played in a few practice games after Trial by Combat, and his assessment was it's crazy. If it comes across any fuckhead who plays 2 copies of Bar in the Gates, completely fucks it though. And I was like, hi.
Oh, yeah.
Once again.
Yeah.
It was the Forgotten Plants.
It was a very odd list as we were all testing it, and we were going, "This is great." It's like, it's doing really well. We're like got an 80% win rate over like 20-25 games, like for a few of us, and like this seems good. Then we started, and we had this little bit of doubt. It's like maybe it's a little too inconsistent. Then just from that point on, it just started losing.
It's just out
like,
to the
the
heart of
moment
the
we
cards.
gave it any doubt, it just started crapping out, and there was no reason why it started crapping out.
Yeah, I have to admit, I experience that when I'm building decks all the time. I put something together, I go like 5-0, and I'm thinking, oh, this is great, and then I lose like 10 matches in a row, and I thought, what am I doing wrong here? I think I'm just outthinking myself.
There's nothing more misleading than getting a sweet deck idea, smashing like 10 fucking noobs on the Iron Throne and being like, yeah, dude.
Very much have no time for grain of salt.
And then you take it out to one game in real life and just get fucking smashed.
That was why I was happy. Like, we did all of this testing on Iron Throne. I was like, I'll take it to a tournament. I'll beat Ishian with it in like quite a good game. I was like, oh, this is doing really well. 1-4, and then haven't like kept losing since then. Because we also found the hard counter to it, which just didn't. There was no way of beating it.
Okay.
Was that the Lanny Reigns you're talking about? The Lanny Jumpers? Lanny Cross?
The Lanny Crossing, yeah. Oh,
what's the hard counter to it?
Barrowfield.
Barrowfield? I thought it was Barrowfield.
No.
You just kill everything.
Oh, because new metal,
it's in my hand. Oh no, it's gone.
Yeah, that is fair.
I played Barrowfield in the last round. It absolutely destroys Neil Barrowfield. But if it's got Big Mel, then there's no way you can win.
No, who's running Neil for Barrow these days?
Some
I think there's still a
outside of the banner. Outside of the banner, I should put that caveat.
Oh, sure. Outside of Bannerstag, of course, but I think it's still a toss-up whether you go with 7 Gold Melisandre or Core Melisandre. Then again, I'm one of those like Baratheon, those esoteric Baratheon like artists. So what goes on in my head, when it comes to Baratheon, may not be what is actually going on across the community.
Tell us more, Matt, because Baratheon is horrifically underrepresented in the UK.
Okay,
Needers like yourself.
Okay, so if you're building Baratheon, you start off with you have to make a choice. Do you go 7 Gold Melisandre or do you go Core Melisandre? And this choice is actually really important. If you go Core Melisandre, what you're saying is I want to kneel out characters that are on the board and I want to win challenges. Okay, so you're looking at like I'm gonna get renown. I'm gonna, do some power challenges. I'm gonna kneel out their best characters so that way I can win challenges. But if you go 7 Gold Melisandre, you're saying, okay, I want insight, so I want a long-term card advantage. I want to discard some cards from their hand or maybe kill some characters. Again, a long-term card advantage. So what you're really going for here is like, okay, if you want Core Melisandre, then you're doing challenges and you're gonna kind of rush, you're gonna do some renown, that's great. And then if you go 7 Gold Melisandre, you're saying, okay, I'm gonna win dominance, I'm gonna reset, I'm going to go for like a 6-plot game, and I'm trying to secure and especially thanks to Insight, I'm trying to secure a long-term card advantage. So, are you playing a long-term game, a grindy game, or are you playing a like a somewhat aggressive power gain challenge game? And then from there, you can start building Baratheon.
That's interesting. That's a nice way of putting it. And which Baratheon do you favour out of those two?
I am kind of going back and forth. It really depends on the meta. In a location-heavy meta, I think 7 Gold Melisandre gets a lot better because we're having lots of resets. You're having a long game. In that case, that long-term card advantage that she secures simply by giving you insight maybe once around, and then if you win dominance, you discard a card from their hand. That's a 2-card swing. That matters more in like a 6, 7, 8 plot game. If we're doing like a more, I guess, less location-based, more typical meta that doesn't have a lot of Varys running around, and then I think Core Melisandre gets better. So the question is, I've just moved to the UK. I have no idea what's going on. I've got to figure this out, and I have a week to do it.
To be honest, I think as one of the I really do think as outliers in the UK meta, Baratheon, it all hinges on that econ location as well, man. It really does bump up the power level a lot because they're a deck that likes to run like 3 or 4 7-costers. I can't think of another deck in Thrones that likes to do that. And
sometimes.
Yeah, you're talking about the 7 Gold Melisandre version.
I'm talking Barristan, I'm talking Stannis, I'm talking Bob, I'm talking Mel.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
So that seems to be like the fealty build, is you go that direction, and you say, okay, I'm going to use fealty every turn to get out a big character. I'm going to run like 10 7-cost characters. I'm going to win dominance, and then 7 Gold Melisandre is what you're looking for. Now, if you're trying to do something like Baratheon Kraken or Baratheon Wolf, anything involving a banner, you're probably looking at doing Core Melisandre. So, and then here's another thing: the Core Melisandre's bane, her Achilles heel, is Targaryen. Whenever Targaryen drops out a little bit, Core Melisandre is ready. She's ready to come back in and really, seize the game. So what that means is that for the past few months, Core Melisandre has kind of been pretty bad because Targaryen's everywhere. Oh, 2 and 2, Crown of Gold. There she goes.
Crown of Gold loves Melisandre.
Exactly. Whenever Targaryen drops out of the meta, Core Melisandre is right there.
Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting one though, because we were saying moments ago that Targ are waning somewhat in their popularity, at least over here. And I actually, even in the flea bottom meta, I still see their biggest predator, Greyjoy, as the as one of the factions that's come off a lot better from flea bottom. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they will. There's always some loyalists playing Targaryen at these big tournaments just because they're very stable and consistent.
And it's also weird that Greyjoy's pushed Targ down because traditionally in the game, Greyjoy's had a horrific matchup against Targ. They've hated Targ.
The reason why Barra and Greyjoy both handle Targ now is people realise they can actually play the big guys more, which survived the Dracarys.
You think Grey Halls help them?
Oh yeah,
just stuff like that. Yeah, like
Grey Halls put them. Yeah,
King Balon can cover a Dracarys. He just goes, all right, I boost immediately. Euron can't be hit by it. Victorian can be covered with a Risen.
It takes a Dracarys and Astapor, but then Greyjoy's the one faction that can look at Astapor.
To deal with Targ and the Risen from the Sea, newly made lord for all their little pity locations. Euron to nick them after you blood.
Dagmar to nick them as well.
Dagmar, they've got so many. Greyjoy must just be like, oh, this is gonna be great. See the dragon guys. And that's the thing; they can take some of the nastiest dragon cards and actually make them nastier than Targ.
I know it's only a local little tournament here, but one of my favourite plays was Greyjoy against Targ, where my friend opened up a trading with a Pentoshi. I made him go. I think I used Summer Harvest. I made him go first. He put a 4 gold Astapor out. I blew it up with my newly made lord.
Oh.
And then sent Euron in, and I kept 4 gold to one side to nick his Astapor, bestow it with 4. And I basically
I hope you learned a strong lesson from that.
And I went to him, 3 of that gold is the gold you gave me, by the way. Just like really rub it in.
Oh, if you really want to rub it in, you can play, the Iron Bank will have its due, and just bring that newly made lord back to hand. It's like, okay, I really wanted to play Asha, but I had to take a little stopover, to blow up your ass more.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, Jakara does seem a lot less deadly now that we've got a lot more bigger characters. I think that's a very fair assessment, Joe.
Yeah. The problem with Targaryen as well, I feel, is even now, even after 3 cycles, their strategy is still identical. It's like you get Drogo on, you apply military military pleasure. Yes. You apply military pressure, and you make them defend challenges they don't want to do, and then you Jakara them. And I don't care what kind of Targaryen deck you're running, that is always a strategy. It's always a strategy. They've got cards that make the strategy better. But ultimately, it's entirely known quantity, and there are many ways to sort of play around that, trick them out, run counters to it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
Yeah, and
not
also
so hot right now.
the mere but in general, the mere fact that Khal Drogo and a retaliation, that is so nasty, and you've got to be ready for that.
Definitely,
yeah, or you will get wrecked. Yeah.
If you're not running counters to Targaryen or any kind of heavy board pressure deck, then that's a pretty silly stance to take when going to a tournament like Nationals, because people are going to be running that kind of shit. And the same with Targ Rose with Randall on the and then Cal on the retaliation. You keep standing them up. Yeah, it's horrible.
I'm just thinking, by the way, what we're saying. Why isn't Baratheon Rose more of a thing?
I wanted it to be more of a thing. I played it a bit locally, before I moved over here. You just don't have the intrigue to really keep up. To be honest,
I'm just kind of thinking, if you take Cormel, and you got the nil from that, and then you take 3 copies of Lord Renly's Ride, you could really nail out a board fairly quickly. But I guess Bob kind of does that anyway with Lightbringer.
Yeah, he kind of does it anyway. And the problem you run into is that your bad matches do not get better.
Right.
Targaryen's still a bad match. Lannister Reigns of Castamere is still a bad match. So adding in some Tyrell cards doesn't necessarily make your bad matches better.
That's fair.
That being said, I think it's a fun deck, Baratheon Rose. It gives you a great excuse to run Renly Baratheon, and I would totally take it, to game nights and game night kits. But when you're running up against Nationals, I'm not so sure about that.
That's fair. Just the thought I just had there when you just talking about the way that Greyjoy and Barra works, I'm wouldn't Tyrell do just the same job now? But fair enough. Just a thought.
Oh yeah, it's very enjoyable, and but I just don't see it being top of house when it comes to Baratheon.
Quickly, did you say what you're playing at Nationals down or not?
I didn't, but I will tell everyone who's listening to this, and it will come as no surprise. In fact, I'll let you guess. Guess what I'm playing at Nationals.
Nightwatch.
Yes. There we go. Hole in one. Matt, I will be playing Nightwatch.
Yeah.
Because I know them, and I like them. I don't know if...
Is Joe been tweeting his, telling you sweet nothings about how good they are?
Actually, he hasn't, no. I haven't spoken to him for a while, which makes me sad, because I've got a lot of love for Joe. But... yeah, no, I've been thinking about the meta a lot. I've been thinking about what has the best chance of taking all comers, and I feel that while there's some really tough matchups for Nightwatch there, they've got a level of consistency, and they've got the tools to really deal with everything. The only thing I'm worried about, of course, is people like Matt. Baratheon have ever been the one faction that completely and utterly bones Nightwatch.
You just guarantee playing him round 1. Oh, round 2, so you got the bye, haven't you?
Yeah, mate, I'll be having the breakfast of champions while you peasants are all sweating it out.
If I've driven for 5 hours, I'm playing round 1.
That being said, Nightwatch, ever since they got their 2 gold location, which triggers all the time, I swear they should have just made it printed gold, not gold value. But
that's silly. That's silly. Nightwatch needed more economy. I'm glad they got that card. It doesn't feel too overpowered to me, and I really. I really don't feel like it's that bad. I don't know.
Anyways, Night's Watch, I'd say they're incredibly strong. They're very robust. Their box gave them a lot of 2 icon characters. Corin Halfhand is just overpowered.
He's not overpowered. He's very good.
I don't think he's that good anymore because
he should be able to
I
take
think he's still very good.
He's got 2 icons and renown.
He's good.
He
doesn't trigger very often anymore though because most decks are running mostly non-uniques these days. So mostly unique.
Today he's like a 6th strength guy with renown and no attachment to the wall deck.
Oh no, that's good. That's good.
That's fucking great.
When he first came out, he was killing loads of different types of things. Now it's just like, you kill my Reducer. Well done.
It kills your Salt Wife. It kills your Wildling Scouts.
Yeah, it kills your Chud that you were using to, suck up claim, to not have to kill your big guys. Yep. Yeah, Corin is really good.
So you know what Corin
likes? I'm not he's that good.
Corin likes the characters that bounce in with Flea Bomb most of the time.
He does.
He doesn't like Second Sons that much.
Just give him a practice play and he'll be alright.
When you win the military challenge, he loves Second Sons.
But anyways, it seems like so ever since their box came out, Night's Watch has gotten a lot of multi-icon characters, which they were lacking, and they're really robust now. I mean, you've got 7 gold Jon Snow. He participates in multiple challenges, and he's got stealth. Yeah, he can get milked. That's true, but as we've realized, milk is kind of falling out, especially especially in a meta that includes the Iron Bank will have its due because you have a 0 gold event that sheds the milk.
In my Night's Watch Reigns build, I was taking Fallen from Favor to sacrifice him if he got milked, just to get it off him. Now it's like fine, I'll just bring him back with Tidworth.
Yeah. Just Night's Watch, they're really robust. They've got a lot of good stuff. It's gotten to the point where building a straight up wall deck is not straightforward because you've got a lot of choices now. What you want to put in.
That does remind me. So, remember you saying the weekend, Dan? You think the Builders deck is no longer the deck? It's not that good anymore.
Builders is redundant now. I think
it's not redundant. It's just not. I think the other Night's Watch builds can do slightly better than it.
Okay, let me explain what I mean there. When I say it's redundant, I mean that if you can build several kind of decks that do the same thing but faster and better out of the same faction, then I feel like that it's
very much get that.
Okay.
Builders can't beat other Night's Watch decks at the moment.
No, Builders is slow. Builders is a slow fucking deck, and if you can build passive power decks that can outspeed it, then why play it? What are you getting from Builders? And as you've all been saying this whole podcast, part of the strength of the Builders deck is that is the attachments. It's being able to consistently find Milks and Cravens exactly when you need them. Those got worse. It's the huge backlines of locations, or that those got worse. They're worse now. What was it? Tyrell Reigns running Political Disaster, which is in every Tyrell Reigns build right now. It just absolutely cleans it up.
Yeah, we can thank JC Whamma for that one. The Whamma Whammy.
I do love the Whamma. I love that he brought the Builders deck into the world, and then he built the deck that made it kind of disappear as well.
Back into Hades from whence it came.
I think if you're playing smart, you don't immediately lose to Tyrell. I tested Builders a bit for Nationals, out of curiosity, and I think I beat Tyrell every time I played against him. Political Disaster, if you expect it, you can play around it.
Yeah, if you're expecting it, you do.
I'm not saying that is the end all be all of the Builders deck. No, definitely.
Well, I think Builders does have the advantage over the other Night's Watch, but it's not the best advantage. It's the best placed out of all of them to use Mutiny. Yes. Because they just lose their guy who they paid 1 for.
Yeah, that Grizzle Miner. I pay 1 and I get rid of your best character.
Whereas the other Night's Watch decks potentially lose something of interest, like a Corin.
Oh, bro, you need to play the Night's Watch Sun low curve build.
The low curve ones I imagine are quite good with it, but I think typical Night's Watch builds.
What's the low curve one?
The low curve Night's Watch Sun builds with Mutiny is pretty good. It's pretty good.
Is it all just like ridiculously cheap characters?
You got to have some you've got to have some decent characters in, because otherwise you just lose to Danny. But it's good. Mutiny isn't like I first called it shit when it came out. It's not shit, but I still don't think it's. Who's that guy from Brotherhood about banners that like consistently hunts down my posts on Facebook specifically to argue with me? He's like called James something or other. He was like, "It's gonna break the game, man," and I was like, "No, it's not."
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's in the latest pack, and we really don't. We're trying to figure out this meta, so who knows? A triple mutiny Isle of Ravens wheels within wheels deck might win the whole thing.
Does that worry you? Are you worried about mutiny as someone that's going to be playing probably quite a few big guys?
Yeah, I don't want to see my Robert Baratheon just get hit. Taken down by a zero cost event.
Yeah, well, you could just see him flames it out of their hand first.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
I'm worried you might have mutiny. Better just check.
That is a nice thing about Baratheon. Is like, oh yeah, I'm wondering does he have like nightmares right now? Let me check. Nope. Okay, sweet.
Be right back. Just better check.
Man, this makes me want to include Ruby of R'hllor again.
Yeah, I still want that card to be good.
It's never going to be good.
It probably isn't, is it? I really wanted to.
In a heavy location meta that involves things like, the Iron Bank has its due, I see a place for it.
It's free gold.
Yeah, that's the problem. If
someone's dumb enough to see that you got Ruby of R'hllor out on the board and they bounce someone back to hand, someone big, if they're dumb enough to do that, then fair play.
I will say this. I was at a regionals last year, and I included Ruby of R'hllor as my 61st card, because, that's what you do. And in round 3, I managed to score 2 Dracaris's.
That's good. Mate, I think I can trump the worst Ruby of R'hllor casualties. I had all 3 ranging parties in my hand once. I think that was systematically one of the most painful Thrones experiences of my entire playing Thrones life there.
That's in like the second best 4-cost card in the game, just gone. All of them.
Yeah. It's horrible. I was like, oh god, I probably just lost this game.
You're like, yeah, we gotta go back. Fair play. Yeah.
But that being said, this is totally a side note, but about a card that came out in the first cycle. If Baratheon gets a few more R'hllor characters and they're not relying on Robert Baratheon in every single deck, I think I could see that having a place. Yeah.
I think they're getting more R'hllor next cycle. It seems to be a bit more themed.
Yeah. I sure hope so. Like if Thoros of Myr has an intrigue icon, that would be really nice. Yeah.
What do you think of Beric Dondarrion as a R'hllor character? Or is that just a pairing?
I'm honestly not thinking about anything beyond Nationals at this point, but I saw a announcement for Varberg where I need to just throw something together that includes Beric Dondarrion. Because they're doing a side event that involves Beric Dondarrion in every deck. It's going to be great.
He's going to be one of in every deck until he cycles.
Well, at this side event, at Merculis...
I'm joking. I'm doing the,
But so I'm not really thinking beyond British Nationals at this point because, after that we've got like Varberg, and that's still for the Jousts using Pack 5. And then, after that we could take a break, and then, I get to prepare for Scottish Road to Stalik, and then I get to think about him. Yeah,
I was hoping to come to that, but it's too close to the
You should, because I'll be there.
It's too close. It is the Alpha release.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's too close.
I swear, Scotland just cannot get a break.
Nope.
I mean, Tories won this last election. They lost independence, and
the weather.
Brexit's happening. It's like they just cannot catch a break. Yeah.
They have a Road to Stalik event. That's
we do on the same day as L5R release day.
Well, who gives a fuck about samurais and shit,
Well, if only
many people apparently.
The rest of Britain thought the same.
Dan's not a fan if you can't guess.
Only
he hides it well.
It's the new hotness, Civil Pass. I'm sure. Like, I just don't like. If you want to like a game, that's cool. Like it, whatever. I just don't like people that come to other games and like, our game's better than your game because it's new and great, and it's like, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Just take your little bullshit attitude and fuck off. You know, like I don't need
Basically describing like at least 50% of American gamers right there, by the way.
that. Well, what's a podcast of me on it without offending some vast swathe of the listening populace? There. I don't think that's the case. I think everyone loves me personally, and I intend to keep it that way.
You didn't hear me taking the mick at the beginning about the way they talk or anything.
It's not fair. It's not fair that we rib on the accent because I actually really like the American accent.
Oh no, I love American accents, but nothing makes me laugh more. I follow lots of NFL podcasts whenever the London games come up, and they always try to pronounce English places, and it's just like, oh, it's so cute, just so close.
Oh, London.
All right, guys, now's your chance. Quiz me. All right, here we go. Quiz me.
Okay.
On what?
On what?
On the names of English places.
Yeah, but we say them out loud. You'll
Yeah,
hear
how can we quiz you on a location? Please tell us about London.
Yeah.
London.
How many red Congrats.
I'm afraid you're wrong. It's actually Londinium. Oh, close.
Damn it.
What's
Well,
the national-
I know about things like, Manchester, Edinburgh, Liverpool. Come on, give me some more.
So you know about Liverpool because you're going there in a few weeks. You know about Edinburgh because you live there.
Where are you staying, by the way, Matt? Not that this makes for scintillating podcast chat, but
Great.
that's
Keep going.
Where am I saying? Liverpool? Wherever Costas booked a room. I am attached to Costas at the hip.
Nice. Oh, that's cool. You got Costas is your sponsor, then. That's lovely.
Yeah, he's my sponsor. Yeah.
He's a contender. He's on the ones to watch. I feel.
Interesting fact. I know you saw the Facebook post today, but currently there's only 49 tickets sold for Nationals.
No, I think
It's
that's
going to be
broken.
about 60, I think, in reality.
But that's still compared to last year. That's a massive drop
Because it's
off.
a mile out of the way.
I know, but it's still a
Yeah.
massive
Also,
drop off.
L5R hadn't come out last year, like pretty much bang on when Nationals was.
Yeah, but
And
L5R shouldn't be making a difference. It's not helping.
Yeah, it's still a month away.
My hope is that we get just enough to have a cut to 16. That would make me feel good because then I could do my usual thing where I sneak into the cut right at 16th, then I take down the King of Swiss, and then I'm.
You're not allowed to do that. That's my place.
Okay,
We
I'll
do
be at
best
15th.
right
You
now.
could do 16th. I'll be at 15th. Okay.
Fine.
All right, let's do it. All right.
We have
And then-
Alec in one of our chats, and we kind of just telling him do a top 16 cut because they have control of it. They typically use advanced structure for consistency, but we just say just do a top 16 cut.
Yeah, because a cut to 8 with like 60 players, especially when people have supervise, that's really nasty.
Yeah.
It's so tight.
You have to get 5-1 to get in the cut currently. There's
And
no
then,
other way
and even
around.
then, if you have low strength of schedule, you might be kicked out. Even with 5-1.
Not with maybe the supervise screw up a little bit, but I don't think they do.
Well,
They should just have top 16, really. I mean,
Yeah.
at the very least, some sort of like graduated cut sort of jobby. It's all right.
The way I always view it in my mind is it's the size of the cut tends to then make it feel like a bigger tournament. Because if it's just a top 8, it's basically just another regional. That it doesn't feel anything special to it. Whereas if you kind of do a larger cut, it's a player who's got through a lot more rounds still. It feels a bit more impressive.
Yeah, definitely, man. Top 16 is you still got to win 4 more games. Do you know what I mean? That's like 2/3 of a Swiss right there, even in the cut. That's epic. That's what the people want.
Mm-hmm.
You should always give the people what they want.
Yes.
Is anyone going to be there to film this year? Ben, I'm looking at you here.
Yeah, I'm filming. I'm potentially streaming, but going by how Euros went with streaming, I'm not making any guarantees it's going to work. So instead,
I don't think... Has any attempt you've made at streaming worked outside of Bournemouth?
Bristol did. Bristol worked really well.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Bristol's probably the best streaming I've ever done.
Yeah,
That was a hotel, so that helped, I guess.
Yeah, it did help a lot.
So Ben, when I bubble out of the cut and hit 19th, can I commentate with you?
I'd have to get a new cable so we can stretch very far away.
It's okay.
I would also like to nominate myself for commentating. Actually comes to no surprise for anyone.
I said, Dan, you like talking?
I love talking. And I love talking about things that
Dan,
happen.
it'll be you and me. We'll be the dynamic duo. We'll be
think
the
that'd
ones
be a
doing the
great duo.
commentary.
I think that'd be a great duo. I'm just going to put that out. I'd be down with that.
We just have to both bubble out of the cut at 4-2.
I want that White Tree playmat. That's what I'm coming for.
I love that White Tree playmat.
It's my favourite artwork in the entire game. Is that?
Oh no, I think the Euros playmat was nicer.
Nah. It's very nice, but I like that one.
It's better than last year's playmat anyway.
Yeah, God, the fact that Iron Throne was bullshit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you like drab browns and beiges? You're gonna love this.
Yeah. Well, tough.
Yeah, who puts a neutral card on a playmat?
No, I love that. Do you like browns and beiges? No? Well, tough shit.
Yeah.
Just
You're
tough.
buddy.
Yeah. You came to the wrong fucking tournament. That was an awful playmat. Oh, no offense. I mean, Craig guys, everyone who won it, well done, but
I think it says a lot that I don't ever see anyone use it.
No. Even Darren gave up on it after about a month.
He sold it.
Did he?
Yeah. He sold it.
He probably got a pretty penny for it, in all fairness.
You got a few shekels in the bank for it. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward very much to this tournament. I think it's going to be really interesting, and us three are all in a house of quite an eclectic mix, actually. In our little national stable that Ben set up.
You got to remember, I like cheap housing, so getting 7 people together and getting quite a good deal on Airbnb. Thanks Airbnb, you should also sponsor this because I will promote the shit out of you. You're amazing.
Avid listeners of this podcast.
They are. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it was just an Airbnb. It just made sense. It's 15 minutes from the venue as well. So, it's not awful. I'd like it to be closer, but I also don't want to pay £1,000 for a weekend's accommodation.
Oh.
Neither do I, Ben. Neither do I.
I think that's been one of the biggest problems of Nationals is how expensive Liverpool actually is to stay in.
Yeah.
Whereas Birmingham wasn't anywhere near as bad as this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think.
Yeah.
But hey, it's their choice. It's fine.
Awesome.
You
Well,
think the North would be cheap? So quickly, guys, because I am very aware of time. As we've done a few tournaments here, just go around. I want each of you to predict in order the top 3 most represented houses, and which deck type, say agenda and house, is going to win it. Starting with Matt.
Oh, jeez, you had to put me on the spot right now. All right,
here we go. Let's put someone on the spot.
Okay, so top 3, I'm thinking Greyjoy.
Yeah.
Nightwatch.
Yeah.
And then either Tyrell or Lannister.
that's fair. That's pretty much what I think I would have said.
Yeah,
You gotta pick one. You can't have Tyrell or Lannister.
Yeah, I'm not really sure because the thing is, Lannister Reigns is always good, and whenever it's my feeling that whenever you have an event that it lasts over a weekend and has other LCGs there as well, you're always going to get some people who play Game of Thrones as their secondary game, and they're going to bring a pretty solid deck that doesn't require a lot of intense training, and that right now I believe is Lannister Reigns of Castamere. So you're gonna get a little bit of that.
I think that's going to be the key word, though. I mean, you're only going to get a few. The people I know who might be showing up, I don't think will necessarily play Lanny Reigns. I think there'll be about 5 to 10 Lanny Reigns, maybe.
Well, we'll see. I would love to be in a meta that only has 5 to 10 Lanny Reigns.
It's the UK.
That's a good 15%. Do you know what I mean?
But I think there'll be more, if we're saying the most ones.
Mm-hmm. But Greyjoy is always popular. I think Nightwatch is a really good place and is easy to. It's really good to build and take because that's a very robust faction. And then like I said, I think it's either between Tyrell and Lannister Reigns for number 3. Not totally sure. And as for winning it, ooh, oh my gosh, for winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
What can go all the way? I think a Greyjoy deck can go all the way.
I think that.
Mm-hmm. You think Greyjoy as well?
Well,
even though I'm not playing Greyjoy, I think Greyjoy can go all the way.
So I don't think a Greyjoy is going to win it, only because the person I'd expect to win with Greyjoy, I don't think is. So I'm not too sure.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, no, tell us who you think your top 3 are, and who's going
That's the thing. It's going to be exactly the same. I think we all basically agree is that it's going to be Night's Watch, Greyjoy, and Tyrell in top 3. Then
I don't.
Oh,
Go on.
please share.
No, because it's Joe's time. I was a little tease.
Tyrell Reigns maybe could win it, but I really don't know. I think it's anyone's game because I think everyone's gone away, done their own thing. Everyone's got an idea, but I think there's going to be a very good mix in the top 8 or 16.
fair?
That would be nice to see. I would love to see like 7 or 8 factions in the top 16, assuming we have a top 16.
We will. Have faith, dear brother.
I'm feeling good about it.
Especially if the cut's on the second day. I think your top 16 just makes sense. Otherwise, just
having a top 8 and a whole day for it. That's
unless you're doing best of 3 from like the final or whatever.
Yeah, it's just that thing that I don't think there is actually a meta at the moment. Like we know all of the cards that are good, but there hasn't been any tournament that's worth noting that has given us the way. Like any sort of direction, so everyone's made their own direction.
And I've been looking. Every time every weekend, Justin Fiddy, I'm on there. Like, what tournaments are on this weekend? What's everyone running? And it's like, you're not. You're not using the new pack, or it's like a 10-man tournament. You can't really take anything from. Even some of the like bigger tournaments the last weekend weren't using the new pack.
Okay.
So that's been quite frustrating in that respect. So what do I think? I disagree. Do I disagree? I do disagree a little bit. I just have this really sneaky gut feeling, and it might be my absolute hatred for this faction to play against them, is Martell is going to be really strongly represented.
Yeah, I can see that, especially after the Gen Con finish, where there were 3 Martells in the top 4.
I think that's going to skew people. I think everyone is still convinced Flea Bottom is best out of Martell, which I don't think it is. I think it's good out of Martell. I think it's better out of Targ. It's better out of Night's Watch, and it's better out of
Greyjoy.
Or Stark. I think Stark has got the best use of
okay.
It.
But a Martell Stag is like it is very strong. If you are not ready, it can wreck you. Yeah.
Sorry.
I can confirm that Cantalanta deck is absolutely fucking horrible to play against.
It is, and that's the thing. And I think that. So I have a sneaky feeling Martell might be the 3rd most represented faction.
Okay. Fair enough.
What are you firstly then, buddy?
Tyrell and Night's Watch. So that bit doesn't change. I just think
not feeling the Kraken. All right.
I think Greyjoy's going to be up there. I don't know. I just get this feeling that Greyjoy. I don't know. Greyjoy. It's just my gut feeling. Greyjoy seems to have whined off. Now it's the Iron Throne, and the Iron Throne. I should never base my opinion on the Iron Throne. Games against. Mm-hmm. I was not playing against Kraken much at the moment. I'm playing with Kraken, but I'm not playing against Kraken, and I think that. I don't skew me, and again, you shouldn't use Iron Throne because you don't know. No offense to everyone playing the Iron Throne, unless you know the person, you don't know their quality.
No, I agree. Like taking meta predictions off the Iron Throne is something I've done in the past, and it's actually not advisable at all.
So basically, what has just been said is if Ben doesn't know you, you're shit.
Yes, basically.
Shit, Ben.
And even though I know you, it doesn't mean you're any good. I'm going to take the Darren Hazleton approach to making friends here. You're all shit because I say you are.
Well, we all know how beloved he is.
Right? Yes. That's one. Just one quick thing. I was watching the L5R stream and he was on it, and the guys were gifting him loads of crap, including the line of, "He's now telling his opponent why he's lost. I'm sure he's being very nice, knowing Darren." And I was just like, knowing Darren's like, "Well, you've lost, haven't you, mate? Just give up." But anyway,
his words are poison.
I saw this thing Martell winning it. I think it's going to be Night's Watch.
Yeah, they're very.
Night's Watch deck is
I can see that. Yeah.
Tough. Isn't it hilarious though that the counter to all these decks that we're talking about is actually Baratheon. Baratheon mulch Night's Watch. They mulch Greyjoy. They mulch Martell as well. They don't do Tyrell versus Tyrell, but No,
because someone pointed out in a what I thought was a rant, and actually a very well written piece. Martell's become the power faction, which is really not Baratheon off its pedestal a bit. They really give Baratheon the issues with when it comes to power challenges.
Do you mean Tyrell?
Tyrell,
You
so
mean
yeah,
Ty-
Tyrell.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
I was getting like, what?
Yeah, Tyrell, and it does make sense. Yeah, you can put Robin to a challenge, but Tyrell can probably still beat Bob.
That
Yeah,
was
they
what
can.
knocked Barra out of it the first time, is they couldn't deal with Tyrell.
Yeah,
They couldn't kneel him. They couldn't beat him in power challenges. There was no way of beating the Tyrell match.
Absolutely, and they get renowned. But they, Tyrell actually have a fucking renowned dude at every goddamn cost slot in the game now. And even if they don't have it at the cost slot, they've got some sort of thing that is a bit like renown, like those stupid knights that give power to ladies. Or
I love those knights. They're awesome.
God, those little douchebags.
There's nothing better than Lord Renly's riding for and make them 9 strength. This 9 strength infantry challenge comes out of nowhere. You're like, what the fuck? And you're going to kill me?
Dead.
Yeah. Because he's a king, he always dies. He's the one true king. He must die, though, to prove he's the one true king.
I think that the faction split top 3. I kind of with Ben a bit. I think Martell will be heavily represented.
Okay.
I think Greyjoy will be either number 1 or number 2. Martell maybe number 3. I really think Tyrell will be up there as well.
Okay.
Because they're so jack of all trades. They've got a tactic against everything, and their own tactic never really changes either. They've got the toolbox. They're so flexible. They're so very flexible. They can switch it up. It's hard to shut them down. And the tools that do shut them down are either weak to other things in the meta right now or just not very popular. So yeah, I think we may see a Tyrell Reigns deck actually win it as well. That's my prediction.
And I think that would be quite cool because I do think this time next year, as we already talked about at the beginning of the show, there's 3 new agendas coming out in the next 4 packs. So the meta's probably going to massively shift. So it'd be quite nice that Reigns has really been the agenda of the last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be quite nice, I think, to kind of crown that, at least for the UK meta, that Reigns deck wins it. Because this time next year, with all the agendas coming out, I have no idea what's actually going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
yeah,
we know it's going to be good now.
We haven't had enough of it in this game. It's decked with the Reigns agenda winning tournament.
You haven't. No, I think it would be nice. I also hope it goes on and wins well. A Reigns deck wins Worlds because I think that would kind of just nicely cap off that Reigns thing, and then we're going to get obviously the new packs and Valadar Harris, and I think Valadar Harris is really going to hurt Tyrell.
Yeah, massively.
I think and Baratheon. Yeah, you can't run this. You can't run 4/7 costs anymore. Don't you think out of Baratheon?
Valadar Harris is just. I'm really excited because I think the game has always needed a plot like that just to solve the problem of like it being too much about board state.
Yeah.
Lanny Jumper decks are here like it.
It's a really interesting plot, Valadar Harris.
Yeah.
All these people are saying like, there's going to be the deck that runs every reset plot. I don't think that deck's that good. So. No. What stays on the fucking table on your side if you're running every reset?
Flea bottom. No, I think if we get Valadar Harris and like some more location control tools, then I think the game will be in a really interesting place.
The other thing is Valadar Harris as well, even used offensively to get rid of I think is that another nail in the negative attachment with Terminal. Nail.
Yeah.
The kind of coffin because obviously you go, all my big guys have got that on. Well, obviously you play this, they're not dead, but now they're out of play and all those negative attachments gone to the bin. So we'll see. But I don't know which. Yeah, I think that's a conversation another time. But I'll be very interested what come this time, like about 3 months' time, when Valadar Harris is out. We're very interested to see where the meta's really moved to.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So do we have an update like? Is it likely that Valadar Harris will be legal for Stalik?
I believe, my understanding is timing-wise, it won't be available for Worlds.
Right, because Worlds is like November 1st or something.
Yeah, and I think it's touch or go for Stalik. And I remember we were in this situation last year with the Lanny box.
Oh,
we'll have the Tyrell box, but I don't think we'll have the next cycle.
Okay. And I remember because Warhammer was having to playtest 3 decks for 3 different metas. Depending which pack was made was legal. So, and also the other problem you got is whereas like the pack might be out in the UK, it might not be out in Spain, or it might not be out in Scandinavia,
Poland.
and then so it's got to be out the whole of Europe for it to be legal for Salak. I think.
Oh, okay. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I would not be hopeful for pack 4. I mean, Tyrell box maybe, which would be interesting enough, judging by some of those cards.
I can't wait for that box. Let's get to see. Some of these cards look bonkers. Anyway, I think we should round this off because we've been gambling for a little bit. So, Matt and Dan, thank you very much for joining us for this message chat.
Glad to do it.
Was my pleasure, and it was lovely chatting with you as well, Matt. Good to meet you on the old voice chat.
Well, and maybe we'll meet in person soon.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we'll
bit, guys.
meet on the field.
Round 1, while you're on your bye, and I'll somehow find a way.
Just go for the automatic submarine.
I'm still hoping there's an odd number of buys, so I get that whole. So and I'm the lucky one who gets that free buy who didn't have to win, regional. It's the ultimate buy. Look at you suckers try-harding with regionals. I just waltzed in and got one.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, guys. Well, thank you very much for coming on, Joe. As always, it's been great.
Thank you.
And guys, thanks very much for listening. You can try and remember the stuff I normally say. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. iTunes. That's the one. You can subscribe to us on YouTube as well if you want. That's kind of on there depending when you listen to this. We will be back semi more regular than we have been with possibly streams, but actual proper podcasts because we really should be doing that. And otherwise, thank you for listening, and it has been emotional.